What's up, guys? So it is Tuesday. It's February 2nd. Happy Groundhog's Day. So hopefully the groundhog was wrong in his prediction. But a couple things I wanted to talk to you guys about. Defensively, try to get some double play turns in today. Also, take some ground balls with the quickest release you can possibly have. I'm not saying that we are always going to get rid of the ball like a hot potato. We know we don't do that. But I want you guys getting those fast twitch muscle movements going and get in the habit of being quick, getting rid of the ball. None of us have the strongest arms at this point where we don't have a 90-mile-an-hour arm where we can afford to have a long motion getting rid of the ball. Be quick. Make up for arm velocity with being quick. Also, left side of the infield, we're not funneling. We're working on coming up quick to the throwing hand. Obviously, right side of the infield, you can funnel a little bit more as long as you get the ball out in front. You have more time. And again, that's not a personal preference, guys. I've been working, lately with, with major league guys, and that's what they're teaching, and that's what's being done. And it makes sense. You don't have all the time in the world on the left side, so let's not worry so much about funneling the ball on that side of the infield. So get rid of the ball, be quick, catch the ball, get it up to your throwing hand fast. All right. So, and some of you, I understand that that's going to take some time, but it's okay if you pull it up to your right side of your arm quickly, but let's not worry so much about bringing it into our chest and handcuffing ourselves. Let's get the ball out in front and keep our feet moving. So quick releases, double play turns, a couple of things I'd like you to work on in the infield. So pitchers, make sure we continue to do our arm care throughout the week. Make sure we have our legs as well. Guys, got to be doing some conditioning. Okay, I'm not there to make sure you're doing it, but we need our legs. Okay. Offensively on the tees, let's do the same drills we've been doing, but in the cage, you're going to get some data on Diamond Kinetics today off of flips. So person doing the flips, please make sure that we're flipping on a line and not these loopy things. Okay, you guys know how I flip it. Make sure it's on a line. So I want to give you a little overview, and we're going to talk about this tomorrow in our clinic, but what are some of these numbers mean down at the bottom? And I don't want you to get too caught up in max barrel speed and max acceleration and stuff like that. I want you to specifically look at your videos and really make sure that your swing path is nice and tight. And look at your launch angle. Okay, if you can see, this is Ethan. He has a nice 45-degree angle before he starts his swing. We don't want that bat head to be too tilted one way or another. It's just a personal preference. I feel a lot better that you're going to get in the zone at a good launch position. A lot of you guys do, but we don't want it too horizontal. So he's actually launching from a good position. And if you look here, you can see his swing path is nice and tight. That bat head, back shoulder correlation is nice and tight. Other thing to look at is that circle when you make contact is on plane or on the way up slightly, not big C going up through here, but slightly on the upturn when you're making contact with the ball. We do not want to catch the ball with a negative attack angle. So when you look at your numbers down at the bottom here, if it's in the negative, guys, you're making contact with it on the way down. All right, we don't want that. We want line drives. We want gap shots. So, it can be close to zero. Those are going to be line drives. If it's in the tens and teens, in the positive sense for attack angle, that's a little bit more lift. Our bigger, stronger guys are the ones we would like to be more there. If you're a contact guy, focus on the line drive portion of it. Okay, closer to zero, maybe in the 5 to 8 range. But please make sure that that attack angle is, in the positive. So work on getting on plane early, okay? A lot of people had negative attack angles on the tee, and that might have been where you're putting the ball on the tee. Make sure, especially on the inside pitch or middle, that it's out in front a little bit. You might have it too far back, okay? Other things you can look at. One thing don't get too caught up in this, but applied power, the watts, I got to give a shout out to Ethan here. 11.25 or whatever he was kind of averaging here was, I mean, that's just smoking the ball. So kudos to him for all the work he put in and getting stronger. The applied power is showing. I mean, that's insane. That's really, really good. So I haven't seen that in a while. So I'm happy. That's given him a little bit of power potential. But again, it's all going to depend on his attack angle as well. The only thing on this particular swing that Ethan could work on, and on his other swings it wasn't as substantial, but if you look at hand cast distance, guys, that's how far our hands are getting away from the ball or away from our body before it goes to the ball. We don't really want to be in that 16 range or anything like that. We want to try to keep it as low as possible without being tied up. So if we're in that 8 range, 10 range, it's a little bit better. Most of his swings were under that. Just we caught one here, and that might have been because it was an outside pitch. I don't know, but try to keep hands inside the ball and go to the ball quickly. Okay. Yeah. So really focus as far as that goes. Focus on the hand cast distance and the attack angle. Okay. The other thing you can look at is distance in the zone. You want to be in the zone. You want those numbers to be as high as possible. That's how long you stay in the zone. So I know he averaged like 32 to 39, which is really, really good. You want to be in as long as possible. Again, we'll talk about this a little bit more tomorrow in our clinic of what these numbers mean, and I'll talk about our leaders in the clubhouse at this point. Once I look at the numbers tonight. But get 10, 12 good swings. If you get in a second round and put the center on, the more the merrier. The more data, the better for me. But I really want you to understand what you're looking at. So this was a really nice tight swing, and this one really stood out for me. So kudos to Ethan for some good swings here. But starts with that launch angle. So where it says trigger to impact, if your launch angle is bad, it's going to take longer from trigger to get to the ball. And we want to be as low as possible. I know some John Natolsky, a couple guys were pretty low in that, in the 1.7 range or 170 milliseconds range. That's pretty good. So, I was pretty happy with that stuff. So check these out, get familiar with this stuff. And we might have a little competition. There's a couple games on here that we can do next week. So, but let's get some data today. Make sure that we are on point with this and make sure that our tosses are good in the feed. So, all right, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.